DNVR Broncos live on a schedule release Thursday.
Let's go.
Double-header Thursday. This is one of two shows you'll see from us today, as Zach and I will be going live again later tonight as the schedule drops. Henry is not here.
Yeah, he's twerking.
He is twerking. I love that. That's made it all the way around the company now.
Ryan, it's when do doubleheaders happen?
Rainouts.
Rainouts, yeah. And so we're doing the opposite. We're getting rain, so we decided to do a doubleheader today.
I like that. It is coming down out there.
It is. If the Broncos played Seattle this year in Seattle, I'd be saying this is just showing us it's going to be week one.
Yep.
Raining on schedule release day points to that. But they don't play the Seahawks in Seattle, thankfully. Enough of that. I've just had enough of Seattle for a long time.
Yeah, I agree.
In really every way.
Also, shout out to all the CU Boulder graduates.
There we go.
Who are graduating as we speak. Tough weather.
Yes, you said sleet? Or no?
No, that was when I was.
That was when you did.
That's what I was going to say. Like old people always say, like, well, you should have it that way because I had it that way. That would be my take.
Would you wish that on
No,
them today?
of course not. Of course not. I had to pay my student loan.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that probably sucked.
It did, yes.
Anyways.
Speaking of week one.
Yep.
Season opener.
Is it leaked?
Not for the Broncos.
Oh, okay.
But it is for the Jets. So that means the Broncos will not be opening the season on week one in primetime. It could still be in primetime, but it's not going to be a week one primetime game against the Jets. The Jets are playing the Bills to open the season. That's some star power there.
So are they doing the Monday night doubleheader again?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. This one, I believe, is primetime. I don't remember if it's Monday or Sunday night. It might be a Sunday night game that they've released.
Cool. So what do we know about the Broncos? I haven't seen anything.
We know week 7. Who would you think the ideal week? We actually may have got this one spot on yesterday.
Did we have the Packers week 7?
I don't know, but that's what it is. Week 7. That was so random that you just guessed the Packers.
I was in my head, like going to my photographic memory.
Yeah, of course. There's an example of it.
And like counting the little squares where it was.
2:25 p.m. here in Denver, so an afternoon prime time game.
Shit, it was week 8.
Not the 2:05. Dang, we were 1 week off. But that's going to be...
It was probably like rearranged right before that, and that's when my brain took the photo.
That's true. That's a good point. Or after the fact, you switched it up on you.
Yeah, that's
just he
be
didn't
it.
want you to be right on that
because I'm so
one.
quick with this graphic, I can get it done in the next 5 seconds.
Yeah, you were anything but quick with it yesterday. I'll tell you that.
I'm never quick. Ask my wife.
Wow. Okay.
Move right past that one.
Will the Broncos make quick work of the Packers in week 7? That's the one that we for sure know, because actually this morning the entire Packers schedule was leaked in entirety. Dates,
picture,
prime time. No, it was, I think, someone with The Athletic, and a beat reporter with The Athletic leaked it.
Wow.
I don't know how that person's head didn't get chopped off.
Yeah, I personally have gotten out of the schedule league game.
Yeah, smart.
Because it's honestly just not worth it.
No.
Which is what they want me to think, which makes me want to think it's worth it.
Yeah.
But man, the calls that you get.
The threats.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you had a San Francisco game, right?
Yep.
A couple of years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I know exactly who the people are to talk to find out who the schedule is.
Yep.
But I just started realizing, like, whatever. You guys will find out later today.
Yeah, when I saw that this person leaked the entire schedule, I thought, oh my goodness, that's going to be a tough place to be today.
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird thing, but like they want everyone to watch that show. So like, you just took it all away from all the Packers fans aren't watching. Yep,
exactly. No one's watching NFL Network. And then, of course, in Broncos country, the Broncos so desperately want you to watch the Peyton Manning trilogy, as they're calling it. They have been pumping that up more than anything all offseason. I kid you not. The schedule release 90-second video that they'll have, something like that, is being pumped up more than anything, and that's how Sean Payton wants it.
Zach,
yeah.
If there isn't a clear still of the fucking schedule.
There won't be.
I am going to lose my mind.
They may even forget to put it in the schedule release.
I know. Oh my God. So so they're gonna drop that at 6, right? We assume that tweet will go out at 6.
Yeah.
We'll be live immediately.
Yeah, shortly after, right around then.
And it's going to take us another 10 minutes to figure out what the actual schedule is.
Exactly it. And that's why we have here who made an awesome graphic for us. We're going to have the producers put together a great graphic, which you can actually read. And you don't have to find minute 124 and pause on the Broncos schedule on their release video in order to see the schedule that's crooked just off a printer where it's in different. No, it's going to be very straightforward here.
I just don't get it. Just end the video with 30 straight seconds of the still on the schedule.
Yes, please. That would be easy.
I'm begging you guys.
And then have some fun stuff with Peyton Manning. Sure.
Oh, yeah. Do all that
Peyton's
stuff.
Great.
By the way, this is like my Grinchiest take, but I just hate all of the schedule release videos.
Really? Is it because the Chargers typically kill it?
No, I've never even watched theirs.
Wow. And that's not me saying that. That's like the country typically agrees that the Chargers.
Theirs is always really
Yeah, I always see people tweeting about that. I've never even watched them. Why would I care about the Chargers?
Well, that's a good point.
So I just hate these. I don't know why. I'm just like, come up with a new thing.
It's really funny how team social medias have turned this into their Super Bowl.
Yeah, they have. And it's like a kind of like a competition, who can have the best one.
Yep.
And that's kind of cool, I guess. My thing is like, I hate how if something works on social media, then it just like happens forever.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, why can't it just be like, oh, that was cool the one year they did the schedule release video.
Right. The Broncos could be in some trouble. And if Peyton ever does tell them no, what do you do? Moving on from Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning's not just like an incredible figure in Broncos. He's one of like the funniest athletes that's ever been alive. So if you lose him, where are you going?
But also, like, how many times can you go back to the same well?
That's what I'm saying. Eventually, it's kind of got to run dry, right?
Yeah, like, has there ever been a good movie that was the 4th? Maybe Rocky 4?
Yeah.
Marvel Endgame?
What was that?
Avengers Endgame?
I haven't seen a single Avengers.
Dang. Wow. I love Iron Man, so always into the Avengers movies.
Yeah.
People would probably make the argument of Star Wars.
Yeah, what was the 4th one?
I have no idea. Don't they go in different orders, too? It's messed up.
We'll say there's less than 5 franchises ever that have had 4 or more good movies. I mean, Harry Potter, they were all good, I think.
Yep, that's true. Yep. Do you know which number 4 was? No, I can't help you there. Harry? No. Yeah, no. I was just saying his name in Hermione's
We said
voice.
Star Wars, Alex. Calm down.
Yeah. We got it. Man, if Nathaniel Hackett was here, he could help us with that.
Yep.
That's a shame.
Yep, for sure.
I'm getting a feeling, and I should have said this yesterday, but I feel like Jets-Broncos is going to be a Thursday night game. It's going to be a primetime Thursday game where they do get that game on primetime, but it's not leading the season with it. And just in case the Broncos are bad, they're hedging their bets by putting it on Thursday. And also, haven't we seen like 2 or 3 Broncos-Jets games in primetime on Thursday the past couple of years?
Have we? I thought the Broncos-Jets have been just an early season hot game the last 2 years.
Definitely saw it when,
Brett Rippon
to Jerry Jeudy, and then Melvin Gordon ended the game with the touchdown. That was my infamous game where I said I was extremely confident, and I think it was my pick of the week to take the under. It was like 27 points, and of course both teams scored like over 27.
That's funny.
Yeah. So that's my new schedule guess is Jets Broncos Thursday night primetime.
Number 4, Harry Potter's Goblet of Fire.
That would probably right off the top of their head too.
Takian of the Source said John Wick 4. I don't even know what John Wick is.
I'm right there with you. No idea. Although, like, apparently there's a new one coming out, and it's all the hype. But I was like, I didn't even know there was a first one, let alone 4.
Yeah.
I just found that out right now.
There's like 73 Fast and Furious.
Yes, they're coming out with another one.
Oh my god!
Did you see? I saw something. It's the last one. Is this number 10?
Yep.
Or 11?
Come on.
What
is this, Final Fantasy?
I think it's 10.
Someone, I saw like a legitimate news article. The headline was something like someone is paying a person $10,000 to watch all 10 Fast and Furious and record the number of like car accidents or something in it.
Why?
I don't know. It's
good gig if
must
you can
be
get
a
it.
really rich person. Yeah.
It's just probably some like data about car safety or something like that.
No way. If you're getting your car safety data from Fast and Furious, you're in some trouble.
Yeah.
Sharknado, Jose put in there.
There's not 4 of
Yeah, I
those.
don't think so. There's definitely
no.
2.
You know what's going
I've
to be
never
the
seen
best
that.
number 4?
What?
The Nuggets' 4th win of the series tonight.
Bang. I love it.
Yep.
And the sun just not out today to celebrate.
Nope, the sun is out of here.
Man, no Chris Paul? I actually think that's a good thing for the Nuggets. I was a little worried that him coming back would bring just a different juice because the Nuggets really seem to figure out how to slow down Booker. And I was worried that Chris Paul would kind of bring a different element in order to open him up.
Yeah, I feel like we overreact way too much to one playoff game at a time every time. And I'm just
so
like,
you're-
hey, just missed shots that he was making before. Like, I don't know if they actually slowed him down. And he
full
was on the
court
road
press,
versus
though.
at home. Yeah, the press is nice, but I'm just like, I don't know.
So you think he's going to heat up again and the Nuggets still win?
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I mean, that's how you want to beat. Ideally, I want the easiest path, but if you want the most dominant win, then you beat a team when they're at the best. That's not what I would hope for, though. Like, I want a team to be at their worst when I play 'em.
Oh, yeah. I hope that, like, they literally get onto the floor and all 5 of them fall flat on their face on the first, just like the first play of the game.
Jeez. And then every time the Nuggets have the ball, they just do it every single time.
In sync, just bang.
It's like those little things that you push up from the bottom and they just fall down. You know what I'm talking about? I'm doing a terrible job of explaining this. They're like
nope.
the little wooden human creatures. And there's a little button on the bottom.
Wooden human creatures.
Yeah. The wooden, I don't know,
Are you talking about
Pinocchios.
like the woodpeckers that like move back and forth and like?
Oh, I know what you're. Yes,
And then you squish it and they just fall down.
They are
collapse.
nutcrackers, and they're like have like a string or something that's
Yeah,
tight,
yeah,
and when
yeah.
you press the button, it loosens the
Yeah,
string.
exactly.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
So maybe not human creatures. But
Well, the last time the Suns faced an elimination game, they played arguably the worst game of basketball I've ever seen in my life.
remind me.
It was Suns Mavericks Game 7 last year.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure the Suns lost like 100-60.
Oh, was that Lewis in our Madden League sent me just a screenshot of it was like a little highlight clip that said Chris Paul hits an incredible 3 to pull the game within 37 points.
Yes, it was insane. Like they all turned into pumpkins simultaneously.
Oh, I hope the Nuggets
gotta
have
be
some
thinking
pumpkin
about it
pie
tonight.
tonight then.
Yeah, they've got to be thinking about it.
Yep.
And it was Game 7, so like if it could go to Game 7, they're definitely going to be thinking
Right,
about
yeah.
it.
Oh, 100%. In Denver, where they're 0-3.
Yeah.
In Denver. So what a night, not just for Denver sports, but also DNVR. You tune in with us at 6 p.m. We're going to be taking you through the schedule release, breaking it all down, what you need to know early, way too early predictions for the season now that we know the schedule officially. And then probably just a few minutes later, some Nuggets pregame, then the Nuggets game, then some celebratory postgame, and then tomorrow's Friday. Like
Yes.
what a perfect day to have this all set up to.
Let's go. Let's get this dub tonight.
Let's go, baby.
All right. Any other leaks?
That's all we know in terms of Broncos. Although there is a leak, I'm a little bit skeptical
Ooh,
of
let's go. Shaky
the
leak.
source. This one is shady, and so I actually didn't
Is it
even.
Dov?
I didn't even tweet it. No, it is not.
That's surprising.
It is. Oh man. Oh well. Okay, I'll look for this. But what it is, it's Vikings in Denver. Week something, but the notable thing about it is it's supposed to be a Sunday night game.
Okay. Sunday night against the Vikings?
Sunday night against the Vikings. To me, especially, I believe that the Broncos are going to be under that 2.5 primetime games. If they really have a primetime game against the Vikings on a Sunday night, it's not even Thursday, it's probably going to be over the 2 then.
Yeah. I mean, especially because like there's always the chance that one of the Chiefs games is going to be in there.
Yep.
You're going to get a Thursday night game.
Yep. Yeah, so to me, that's a little Okay, it's week 13 versus Vikings. Shout out to our guy Hunter Kendall. Week 13 versus Vikings.
He's the one who had the leak.
No, I can't find the leak anymore. Maybe it was but it was on one of those pages where, of course, now it's verified since you can buy the verification, and it's like NFL schedule leaks with 11,000 followers, and there was one last year that had like 10,000 followers, and they didn't have the check mark because you couldn't buy them back then. But it was blowing up, and of course, it was all fake.
Oh,
and
wow.
then right after the real schedules were released, the person who was running that account goes on and says like, haha, got y'all.
Got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good bit.
Yeah. So I'm a little skeptical of those.
I'm a little skeptical that we keep talking about leaks while being in a 100-year-old building while it's pouring rain.
Well, we can definitely hear the rain.
Yes. I guess we're good because there's a whole other two other floors.
Two
above
others.
us
So it probably will take at least to the end of the show for the water
for
to
the
hit
leaks
us.
to hit us.
So we should probably be pretty good then.
All right.
Speaking of pretty good, would you say the Broncos draft was pretty good as a whole?
I think pretty good is probably exactly how I would describe it.
I think I'm right there with you. And for the most part, I think that's how the country viewed it. And let's get into our grades. We've given out individual grades for each player. Let's give out our grades and look around to see how national companies view the Broncos. But first, I got to tell you about our friends over at Athletic Greens. Whether it's raining, whether it's pouring, whether it's sunny out, whether the Nuggets win or lose tonight, one thing you're going to want to start your day with tomorrow. I should just say when the Nuggets win tonight, but you're going to want to start your day off tomorrow with Athletic Greens. I started my day off with it today. All it is you take a scoop of Athletic Greens, put it in some water, stir it up. You get probiotics, vitamins, minerals, so many good things to start your day, and it's going to give you everything that you need just to start your day right there. And it's cheaper than your average cup of coffee, and they have over 7,000 5-star reviews. And if you go to athleticgreens.com/Broncos, you're going to get 1 free year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. That's athleticgreens.com/Broncos. And if I didn't take my Athletic Greens today, Ryan, I probably wouldn't have been able to get through your laugh, whatever you were laughing at. You know, the Athletic Greens gave me that will to get through it.
I was just laughing at the OG GOAT commenter, Linda Clark.
Is she here?
She only said
this
Linda
one.
today. Jose cleaning up. Got Clark in there.
That is pretty good. And then Troy puts it all together, Linda Clark.
Yep.
What a legend.
Throw up the Linda Clarks in the chat. All right. We also need to talk about Manscaped.
Yeah, we do.
So, you guys, longtime listeners know this, but if you're new around here, I got to let you know that Manscaped is not just about the Lawnmower 4.0, which
Not.
great product. Use it, a decent amount.
Okay, yeah, occasionally.
I can't say I use it every day.
Right,
That'd be weird.
That would be that would be something I don't want.
But there are several things that Manscaped creates that I do use every day.
Yeah.
And especially once the summer comes around. So the two that I would say are your summer essentials are the Crop Preserver and the Crop Reviver.
Yep.
You got to get
very
these
true.
because you're going to be out on the golf course, be walking around. You don't want any chafing going on. And then after you are at the golf course, you got to go somewhere. You need a little Crop Reviver, a little spritz.
Yeah.
Just kind of rejuvenate things,
yeah.
a little cooling sensation.
Yep.
It's honestly huge. It's huge. And you can even in a pinch use a Crop Reviver as like a little deodorant reapply under the pits if you need to go there. Then you can
Very
do the
versatile.
Crop Mops, which are on the go. Throw some in your golf bag, throw them in your work bag. Just clean things up, get things nice and fresh in the middle of the day. So, you have to have once you have experienced this, once you've tried these products, you're going to wonder how you went this long without them.
Did you golf yesterday?
No.
You didn't golf yesterday. Okay, because you frequent City Park.
Yes.
Friend, I put in quotations, of the program, Melvin Gordon was there yesterday. So I was wondering if you ran into him.
So he was at City Park and Common Ground yesterday?
Yeah, he went to both.
Wow, those are two places I like. I did not make it out. That would have been funny, though.
Would have been something, that's for sure. I would hope it was on video, though.
Yeah.
Really quick, though, since you mentioned Linda Clark, more people have commented the combination of Linda Clark and Clark Linda than they have liked our show right now. So I know there's people tuning in. Hit us with a thumbs up. Really helps us. And I think you're also going to like this next segment for the most part. Yahir, can we get that graphic pulled up? We compiled 10 national companies. The way we did this, it wasn't like we were trying to cherry pick here. Just 10 companies that we could think of off the top of our head and got their grades on the Broncos draft.
I definitely wouldn't have thought of these off the top of my head.
Okay. There was we had help from CHGO. CHGO made the graphic, and then I was like, okay, I wouldn't have thought of like sporting news.
New York Post.
Yeah, wouldn't have thought of that. Maybe the other ones.
It is a cool little like behind the scenes look though. It was like CHGO made this graphic.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, that's cool. We should do that too.
Yeah, exactly. And but we hope that we put out some graphics that they're like, we want to do that too.
Definitely.
So it is really cool.
Yep. Schedule
release. Shout out to our producer Yahir. You wouldn't have thought he made it because of how slow he was trying to adjust it yesterday, but he actually made that graphic. So
I just make things look cool, not functional. That's my goal.
Does the graphic have a spot for the date?
It does.
Nice.
Yeah,
The original one does.
What about the day of the week?
No.
Okay.
I'm not doing that.
Next season, we'll get it next season.
Every year we just add one extra detail that doesn't matter.
We'll have someone else make it next year to include that. Don't worry, Yahir.
Wow.
Yeah, when I'm fired because I got in a fight with Zac.
Okay, so let's go through these really quick, especially for the people that are listening on the podcast side, not watching on YouTube. And let's just start with top left-hand corner, Bleacher Report. D.
Wow. Are they? The hardest part about this is I need more context. Like, do they grade on total value added? Do they grade on average value of pick per position? What are they grading us on?
And so I actually have Bleacher Reports pulled up. I don't have all of them pulled up,
Just
but I do have Bleacher Reports. I got some good ones too.
Okay.
But when you look at this, and Ryan, I'm curious as to, before telling you what these companies took into it, how would you grade the Broncos? I don't need your grade right now because we'll do that after we go through these. But are you going to take in the fact that the Broncos only had 5 picks? Or are you going to say that Russell Wilson and Sean Payton are included in this because they were kind of the Broncos' first 2 to 3 picks in this draft? Or do you just base it off of having 5 picks? They don't have one till the second round. Like, how do you go about the Broncos? Because it's very different than just a team that has 7 picks, 1 through 7.
To me, there's only one acceptable way to grade draft classes.
Okay.
And that is the average value of the pick against what you expected that player, where you expected that player to go.
Gotcha. Okay.
So if you had a guy ranked 150 and he gets drafted at 75, like, you're grading that poorly.
Right.
But you're looking at, on the whole, basically a GPA
Right.
for each pick combined.
Okay. I like that. So then you don't hold the Broncos back for trading a first-round pick for Russ, or you don't give them the benefit of the doubt for trading a first for Sean.
You can't do that, in my opinion, because
Fair.
it just there's way too many variables.
Yeah, and both of those are very much question marks. Obviously, these draft classes are question marks too, but grading them right now. So let's say you do draft that 150 player at 150. For you, is that a C or is it a B minus? Like, what is an average grade?
Yeah, I think that would just be like a C.
Okay. So let's go through these because Bleacher Report thinks it was a really bad grade.
Because if you drafted every single one of your picks and it was the exact player auto draft, I think that's a C draft class. Like, you didn't get any unexpected value.
Yeah.
You didn't lose any value.
That's fair. So anything above C is good. Anything below C is bad. C is just average.
Yeah.
So he goes on, or Bleacher Report goes on to say Broncos didn't have a first or second round pick. Mims is a legitimate deep threat who should help quarterback Russell Wilson. However, Denver trading up for the 102nd ranked prospect on Bleacher Report's board was more than a little surprising. So they're saying that they reached significantly. Yes. For Mims, they did say they got good value with Drew Sanders. They had him ranked as a 33rd prospect, got him at 67, so really good job there. Says that the other guys are going to add some depth, but then, and here's where you really get to the D part, it's an underwhelming draft class overall, especially if Mims doesn't go on to make GM George Paton look like a genius for flipping the switch early. Expect this draft
immediately stating that they don't know ball.
Exactly. Expect this draft to be judged by any success Wilson and Payton have on the field this season. Payton in Denver remains an unknown, and to this point, the Wilson trade has been a bust.
That's a nice way of putting it.
So if you factor in the Russell Wilson from last year cost the Broncos the 5th overall pick. And Sean Payton, you're not giving the Broncos the benefit of the doubt for what he could do. You're just saying he's a total curveball or an unknown. Yeah, probably a D. They're saying that the Broncos completely swung and missed with the 5th overall pick here. And so that's how you get it here. And then with their second pick in the draft, that was also for Russell Wilson, so the second round pick. And then their third pick in the draft was a reach, according to Bleacher Report. So no wonder how they get to a D.
Definitely. And, I think that if they weren't doing the big kind of revisionist, let's look back at the Russell Wilson trade and bring that into this draft class, then I think this probably would have been a C or C- from them.
Yeah, I think so as well, especially because they say that they loved the second pick the Broncos made, and they didn't like the first pick the Broncos made.
Did they talk at all about Riley Moss?
Just said that it's going to be good depth pieces for the Broncos.
Okay.
But then they went on to say that it's an underwhelming class overall, so they must not truly like it. They must have used depth in kind of an insulting way.
We never talked about Emery with just the banger of a line that the only reason anyone thinks that Riley Moss should play safety is because he's white.
Yep. And I mean, essentially, that's, Sean didn't say those words, but essentially said, like, well, yeah, he is a white cornerback. It doesn't happen often, but he has the skills to play corner, and that's what he's going to do.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it was just the truth.
Yeah, I know.
Coming from memory. I loved it.
I love that he said it. Okay. Let's move on.
CBS Sports, B-, and I do have CBS Sports here. They broke it down a different way. They said the skinny on this draft. They didn't have a first-round pick trading it to Seattle for Russ, then giving up that pick for Bradley Chubb to get Sean Payton. But they added some good players. Their draft wasn't great, but it was solid. Third-round linebacker Drew Sanders has tools to become a quality starter. So not great, but solid. B-. Fits right into that.
To me, it's like so wild to give out these grades with such little analysis.
I know. I know. It's really true, but they're doing this for 32 teams.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, I'll just keep going back to Emery, but like,
right.
If he's giving a grade, if he was grading every draft class, he would probably write like 1,000 words.
It's so true. Oh,
like,
big time.
You have to grade the whole draft class. They didn't even make it to the third round.
Right.
In their analysis.
Right. Yeah, it's very true, 100%.
And I get it. Like, the person who is doing these probably doesn't even want to do it.
Right. Yeah.
They're just like, hey, write a grade for every team, and
it's going to get so many clicks.
Right. And honestly, the way that'll probably get the most run is if you really mess up in 5 years from now.
Right. Like, yeah, it's 100%.
Like Drew Sanders is the next Luke Kuechly,
right.
And they're like, oh, you said it was like a nice, or I don't know.
Yeah. Or you said Bryce Young is going to be, the next Drew Brees and Russell Wilson hybrid, and he turns out to be awful or something. Yeah. Okay, so that's how we get to a B-. ESPN hits the Broncos with a solid B. Sports Nation Sporting News. Thank you. See, clearly I did not pick this one out myself. Got some help from
Sports Nation probably exists.
It probably does. Sports Nation went with a B+, the highest grade we've seen so far, and actually tied with PFF for the highest grade we're going to see here with a B+. So why don't we read these analysis?
Okay, what did we get from Sports Nation?
Not much. We got the Broncos didn't have much draft capital a year after the Russell Wilson trade, but they maximized it with Sanders, Moose, as they called him, not Moss, Moose, or Moos.
Oh, they just had a typo?
Yeah, so what would that be? Because Moose is... Moose. Okay. Sanders, Moose, and Skinner being... Man, too bad this isn't an F grade that we could bash for that.
Yeah, they don't even know the names.
Yes. For Moose and Skinner being all good active playmakers, fits for Vance Joseph's new attack defense. Mims seemed like an odd pick, however, given wide receiver being deep for Russell Wilson unless they plan a post-draft trade. It probably signals they don't want to invest too much more in Jerry Jeudy to keep with Courtland Sutton and Tim Patrick. Man, again, really too bad that this isn't a bad grade because, as we know, we don't view it as they're fine with Courtland Sutton and Tim Patrick moving forward and they're not going to invest in Jerry Jeudy. It's more so they're fine with Jerry Jeudy. They're not going to invest in both Courtland Sutton and Tim Patrick after this year.
Yep. And only one sitting courtside with the quarterback.
That's very true. Just who paid for the ticket? You think it was Tim?
I do.
For Tim's sake, I hope it was Russ.
I do too.
Okay, so not very deep analysis there. PFF, though, if you're going to get deep analysis, it's probably here, and it is the deepest. They break down day 2 of the draft. They break down day 3 of the draft and give the Broncos a B+ grade. Mims, they talk about how even though being a big play guy and a smaller guy, he was still able to win 55% of his contested catches he saw. He tracks the ball really well, averaged 2.75 yards per route, and was 5th in the nation with 602 yards on 20+ yards throws downfield. Sanders, they said,
of course, they like that pick. They're the ones who had the 99.9 grade against single coverage.
Yeah, exactly. Sanders, he was their 37th player on the board. Broncos got him at 67. Said he's a good pass rusher and coverage grades. And then Moss, they talk about his experience. 2,500 career defensive snaps at Iowa, with most of them in zone coverage. He's an
Shows
above.
you how much that defense is on the field.
Seriously. He's an above-average athlete who earned coverage grades above 81 in each of the past 2 seasons for the Hawkeyes, joining Patrick Surtain, Damari Mathis, and K'Wan Williams in the Broncos secondary. And with Skinner, they like him as a safety hybrid or safety linebacker hybrid and he said earned a really good coverage grade as well.
Nice.
So B+ there.
Nice. That's probably the most valuable one because they actually dove into the whole class.
Yeah, and they do it very deep.
Yeah.
With very deep analysis.
Well, and that's a huge advantage they have because they have a whole database of information on all of the players.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Whereas, like, with all due respect, the person who's writing this for Bleacher Report is just like, there's a decent chance they've never even heard of J.L. Skinner.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. Yes. NFL.com should have good insight.
And let me just say, I would also be really bad at grading every draft class in the NFL.
100%. It's nice to be on one beat and just focus on 5 players and be able to dig deep on that, but I couldn't imagine for 32.
Yes.
NFL.com, you think they're going to be good?
Really quick, do you think that PFF has higher average grades? I'm just theorizing here because they're a subscription service that they don't want fans to be mad at them.
It's but then can also that create some controversy where you want to see why they said your team sucked?
I wouldn't.
Then maybe you're right.
But at the same time, are they like they also have the most data?
Right.
So maybe for them it's just like, hey, look, we're not like projecting here. We're just going off of the data that we have.
You can't twist the data for bad players.
Right. I mean, you can always twist data.
That's true. That's true. I don't know. I feel like PFF doesn't mind bashing people. Speaking of bashing people, I don't remember who it was on ESPN. I think it was ESPN, putting out their position rankings for every single team. Broncos 5th worst edge rushers in the NFL. And that was before they cut Jake Martin.
Wow.
By the way, Broncos cut Jake Martin yesterday. Saved them $3.8 million. A lot of other reporters in this community were saying it was a surprise. To save $3.8 million, there's no surprise there. $1 million in cap hit, in dead cap.
Yeah.
A guy that was gonna maybe not even make the team.
Yeah.
Or be like a 5th.
Fourth or 5th.
4th or 5th for $4 million. No.
Well, you just need star power on the edge in the NFL.
Yeah.
And Randy Gregory is capable of that.
Yeah.
But we know he's rarely on the field.
Yep.
And so as soon as you lose him, I'll
Yep.
touch wood.
Yep.
You're a bottom, maybe the worst edge rushing group.
Right. And then people around the NFL don't really know Baron Browning yet, and that's fair. Baron needs to put it together for an entire season. The talent is there to potentially have a monster breakout season, but he actually has to do it in order to get the national respect. So I'm actually not surprised by that.
Well, and you have to think about, like, just go around the league. Edge rushers become one of the top drafted positions.
Yeah.
And you just look around, like, everyone has dudes. I mean, just look in the division.
Yeah.
You know, like Max Crosby's on the Raiders. The Broncos don't have a player that good.
No.
Joey Bosa. Like,
Yep.
obviously he hasn't been that as good recently. Khalil Mack.
Yep.
Even, you go to the Chiefs. I don't even. Maybe theirs is a little more up for debate in terms of having someone better than Randy Gregory. But like I even think about like Brian Burns. Like go to like bad teams. They even have stars on the edge.
Right. The Vikings this offseason signed Marcus Davenport, which I didn't realize until yesterday. He's like their number 4
Whoa.
At outside linebacker. To me,
Danielle
that's
Hunter,
like,
yeah.
holy crap. That is impressive.
Right, and one of the reasons is because the best athletes that are playing football are being told to be on the edge.
Yeah.
Because you make the most money. And honestly, if you think about positional, for lack of a better term, danger, edge rusher is like, you're kind of getting a running start. There's not like huge impact.
Yeah, it's true.
It's not like you're in the middle where you're just like smashing heads all day.
That's a really good point. Yeah.
So like huge earning potential.
Yeah.
Relatively safe. I mean, I think you probably do see a lot of lower leg injuries to those guys.
Right. In terms of longevity of life.
But exactly. Quality of life.
Yeah.
So like if you're a 6'5" monster in high school, they're telling you should rush.
Yep, exactly. And the crazy thing, you only have to be, this is very simplified, but if you do one amazing play a game, you're going to make $30 million a year.
Yes. Going to the Hall of Fame.
Yes, it's so true. Okay, let's break down more of these grades. But Ryan, we mentioned how it's raining outside. There's a lot of puddles out there. It can be a little dangerous driving situation. If for some reason in these conditions you get caught up in an accident,
someone slides into you.
Exactly. Someone slides into you. A bus loses control and hits you. You need to call our friends over at Backus and Schenker, where they have experience dealing with this. Tons of experience dealing with it. They have over 100 people on staff, over 30 lawyers on staff who can help you with this right away. So how do you get in contact? Call 222-2222 to get a hold of Backus and Schenker. They're taking care of all of Colorado, and they've won over $1 billion. We think 30 million is a lot per year. $1 billion for their clients, and the big thing is you don't pay them for a consultation. You don't pay them while they're working on your case. You only pay them when they win your case. So there's no downside in reaching out to them if something's gone wrong. So check them out. Call them at 222-2222. If you've been in an accident, motorcycle, rideshare, pedestrian, trucks, any type of accident, they can help.
There you go. Also, it's not a Shady Ray day today, but the Shady Rays days are coming soon.
They are.
And so make sure you get over and check out our friends over at Shady Rays. They have all sorts of just sick styles.
Yep.
And you're going to want to check them out. Order a couple different pairs because if you buy one pair using the code DNVR, you get your next pair 50% off. So what I would recommend is like one standard pair.
Yep.
One you're just like, these are going to be my go-tos. And then one that's like maybe a little risky. You're like going to an outdoor wedding and you're like, I want to get a fit off here.
I like that.
Like I want to look like I'm rich in the 70s, or like maybe even in the 20s. Just like some, really go off with
They
it.
probably have a different style for every decade.
They might have polarized monocles.
Wow, that would be something. Is that the one where it's one?
Yeah, it's the one that comes out of your pocket.
Yeah. Could you imagine sunglasses, monocle sunglasses?
That'd be sick. So anyways, go
You'd
over
have to
to
use both of your hands to walk around and just be holding them up.
I'm pretty sure you're just supposed to like kind of like pinch it.
Oh, you're right. Oh, that would be tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if anyone can make it, it's Shady Rays.
But you just do it for like one picture and you're like sick.
That's true.
Anyways, use code DNVR when you go over to Shady Rays. Buy one, get one 50% off, and check out all of their amazing eyewear.
Wow. The Jets are having a primetime game against the Chiefs this year, Sunday Night Football. It's the Jets' first Sunday Night Football game. I'm trying to make sure I'm reading this right. Since guess when? I mean, this blows. This is a New York team, too.
I'm going to say the Mark Sanchez era, 2008.
Pretty damn impressive. Probably was the Mark Sanchez era, 2011.
Wow.
Which just is crazy. Of course, it makes sense this year. That's going to be Rodgers versus Mahomes.
Yeah. The Rodgers thing, they're going to end up, I know you don't agree with this.
Yeah.
They're going to end up regretting it just like they did with Russell Wilson.
The primetime?
Just like pushing the Rodgers thing down our throats.
Because you think they're not going to be as good?
Yeah.
Man, I hope you're right. I think you're going to be wrong. You know the one that really, I think, could be along those lines is Jordan Love. The Packers, I don't know off the top of my head, but they have like 5 or 6 primetime games.
What?
Yeah, I don't get it at all. And that's the one where it makes, like, you don't even have like, oh, he's been a great player in the past, like Russ.
No. Or like, oh, they got so much out of the Rodgers trade that they might end up being a really good team.
Right.
They have 6, and I can tell you exactly which ones if you want to hear them.
They have 6 primetime games?
Yeah.
So it's Thursday Night Football against the Lions, Week 4. Monday Night Football against the Raiders, Week 5.
Oh.
Thanksgiving, Week 12. That's against the Lions.
No, that means we don't.
Yeah.
Week 13 against the Chiefs, Sunday Night Football. December 11th, Week 14, Giants, Monday Night Football. Then their last one is Week 17 against the Vikings, Sunday Night Football.
This is one of the worst moves the NFL's ever made.
Because of kind of some of the leaks we're seeing, the Broncos may get one primetime game this year, unless that Vikings one is real, which I just think is so bizarre. Broncos, Vikings.
I mean, they're putting the Packers on every week.
But I just feel like they're taking some Broncos spots there. But it doesn't make sense.
What day was the Vikings one?
I think it's supposed to be. Well, it's a leak that we're not sure of yet.
Yeah, but what week was it? Do you remember?
11, I think.
Oh, never mind. I thought it was a late year. I'm like, it can be because they have the Packers, but never mind.
Okay.
There's
the
nothing
Lions.
appealing to me about the Packers.
Oh, I agree.
Well, maybe one game to just be like, oh, what's going on with Jordan Love?
I totally agree. The Lions are getting. Have you seen Week 1?
Mm-mm.
The opening night game.
This Lions Chiefs?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, and I mean, I love it for the Lions. I love hype around the Lions. I think everyone can cheer for the Lions, but like, man, they've got to come to the party. If that's a 45-10 blowout, it's gonna be awful, especially for us here.
Yeah. Wow. Some people need to get fired.
Yeah, I agree. Remember when they almost pushed schedule release back? Maybe they should have. Maybe they actually did need more time.
They were like, these computers are...
Yeah. And Goodell's like, nope, we need it prime time this Thursday.
Oh, man. That's actually a really good theory.
Yeah.
The schedule rolled out, and they were like, this thing sucks. We need to redo it. They're like, nope, we don't have time. Just
drop it.
Yikes.
So, yeah, very, very interesting there. Okay, let's get back to these grades really quick. Here, would you mind pulling that grade thing up? We're very dependent on you this week.
Do you remember the grades?
Yeah, I do not. Okay, NFL gave them a B, and they broke this down in a different way. They gave the Broncos a grade for day 1, day 2, and day 3. Guess what? So, overall, they gave the Broncos a B. Guess what grade they gave the Broncos for day 1?
C?
A B.
What?
I don't. They didn't talk about it. They just said the trade for Russell Wilson cost the team a first and second round pick this year in the draft. The trade for Sean Payton was the trade they got for Bradley Chubb, and then it just goes on to day 2. So they didn't
I guess
even.
they're
They just
saying
stated.
the average weight of those two trades is a B?
I guess, yeah.
It's going
I'll
to be
take
like
it.
7 pluses after the A in Sean Payton.
It's very true.
To, counterbalance that F minus.
It's very true. Day 2 grade B plus. Okay. So they liked him, and then day 3 a B. So I gave him a B.
Yep.
Okay, not really much to go off of there. Sports Illustrated. Don't have this one pulled up.
Okay, we're good.
Gave him a D plus.
Okay.
Probably along the lines of Bleacher Report. Just
Yeah.
failed the trade with Russell Wilson, and it cost him this year, which it did. But they held that against him. New York Post gave the Broncos C plus, one of the worst grades, and this is the last one I've got for you. Here's the analysis. Mims adds a vertical threat, but the Broncos already have many young wideouts. Sanders went 49 picks lower than the Lions' Jack Campbell and might be better, if for no reason than the pass rushing ability. Moss is a safety cornerback tweener with 11 career interceptions. So, I mean, they just stated facts there, except they think Sanders could be better than Jack Campbell. So I don't know how you have 5 picks, and one of them could be better than a first round pick, and you give him a C plus.
Also, safety corner hybrid for Riley Moss.
Yeah, that he was a safety corner hybrid for about an hour and 15 minutes when he was drafted, and then it was made clear he's a corner. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. So unless they wrote this right then, which I doubt they did.
Nope.
Yeah. So then the rest of the grades, Fox Sports gave him a C minus, PFF gave him a B plus, and Washington Post gave him a C plus. Ryan, you mentioned GPAs earlier. Mm-hmm. So I went through and I calculated what the Broncos GPA would be from this
Definitely would not have been an acceptable GPA in the Stevens household.
That's true. 2.39, so very true.
Oh, God.
Which is slightly...
I wouldn't even have flown in my house.
Slightly over a C+. So really, there's more B's than anything else in here, but 2 D's really brought him down.
Yep. I learned that my freshman year of high school. You can get away with anything but a D.
Yeah. That does some damage.
Oh,
D
yeah.
for damage.
Damage that I literally spent the entire rest of my high school career trying to undo.
No. But you did.
Yep, I did.
You're here.
I did. I went to see you. I
You
accomplished my
graduated.
goals. Yep.
You got rained on while you graduated.
Yep, exactly.
Sleeted on. C+. Do you think that's right? Let's give out our grades.
Sure. I mean, I'm going to grade it higher just based on the way that I view things. Like, I think they got plus value on Mims. I think they got plus value on Sanders. I think they got plus value on Riley Moss. So for me, and I think they got plus value on Forsyth.
Yeah.
Skinner's kind of, I know Henry's the big Skinner guy, so it's unfortunate he's not here today.
Big Skinner guy.
Yeah. He's talking about skinning cats and all sorts of things.
That's actually true. That's why he's not here today.
Wow. I like almost all the picks. I'm going to go with a B+.
So you hear we're filling out our grade graphic right now. He's not listening to me. Wow.
Time to get your afternoon show.
That's not for hours.
Henry is going to follow you with a B+.
Oh.
I would have gone B+ too. Can I do that? I definitely can't. I definitely can't go into the A category. They didn't have a.
What's
pick.
worse, us all having the same grade? Or are you having to change just for the sake of change?
I gotta stick with my guns,
Yeah.
right? And that's just following you guys, going with a B+ here. And I actually disagree a little bit with your analysis. I think they got slightly above value with Mims. I think they got big time above value with Sanders. A lot of people, it seemed like the consensus was that they reached on Riley Moss.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say they reached there. I really like the value in Skinner and then also Forsyth as well. So B+. And if they would have had the number 5 overall pick and a second round pick and would have taken a similar approach that they did with all these other picks, this could have easily been like an A+ draft.
I know. It's almost like if they just got one more name.
Yeah.
That's, I guess, the only thing that this class is lacking, and that's what happens when you don't have a first or second round pick.
Right.
But it's just like, if you had a name, if Jack Campbell fell to where Drew Sanders was, and I know some people think that Drew Sanders is better, but just a name, I would have probably been able to go into the A's.
Or even if the Broncos hadn't traded a second for Russ and they had the 37th pick in the draft and they would have got the 20th best player in the draft.
Yep.
Then it definitely.
And I also don't have my own big board. So what I was saying earlier about like the right way to draft to grade a draft class, like I can't personally do.
Right.
But that's not my job.
Right. It is not your job. That is such a tough. Like when Emery Hunt comes on, I have so much respect for the people that do 200 prospects that pretty much cover the entire draft. I'm like, damn, good job. When people do like 300 and they're getting some of the top priority free agents, I'm like, oh my God, that seems awful. 1,000?
1,000.
That is nuts.
Yeah. I wonder how many CU players he graded.
Probably some.
Yeah. At least like 5 or 6.
Wait, how many got drafted?
0.
0? Okay. Any?
Well, no, Christian Gonzalez and Mekhi Blackman, according to your.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, these people think about the draft. They're thinking about the draft right now.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Next year's draft.
Yep. 100%.
It's wild.
They're watching them already.
That's wild.
That is so crazy.
Yeah, I just love. It's one of my favorite things. I absolutely love that football fans have an appetite for that.
Oh,
that
yeah.
someone's full-time job, 24/7, 365, can be thinking about the NFL draft.
Which is wild.
Only in football.
I mean, the NFL did it.
I shouldn't say only in football, but only in football could there be like people across like all the big companies.
Yeah, I mean, credit to Mel Kiper because I think he really started it and then got in with the biggest company for what, 25 years. They just dominated everything. And then everyone else said, oh, there's a huge market for this. So they jumped right in. And I did mention ESPN, Fubo. If you want to watch the Nuggets tonight, check out our friends over at Fubo. If you want to watch over 140 channels, check out our friends over at Fubo, where you can get pretty much every single sporting game, all local news. We got some news on behind here. We've gone from like people that need serious dental help to delicious burgers on this. It's but we're watching it probably through Fubo though. You can get anything.
This show is wild.
We always stumble into it because there's like national news right before, and then right when our show starts, it goes into this, and you get everything on this show.
I don't want to say what it is so I can speak openly about it. How does anyone watch this?
I don't know. And a lot of these things are, in order to be on the show, you have to pay the show to be on the show.
Yeah.
So that just shows you.
Hell of a deal.
It really is, yeah.
TV really went sideways with Jerry Springer. Was no longer around.
Jerry Springer ruined it, you're saying?
Yeah.
Anyways, if you want to watch any of this, check out our friends over at FuboTV.com/DNVR. Scan the QR code on our screen, and you're going to get 15% off when you use that code and go to FuboTV.com/DNVR.
Honestly, watching the show gives me like PTSD to my college education.
Oh, wow.
Because like we had to produce a news show. Like that was the capstone class of my broadcasting degree.
Okay.
And like just trying to like get these guests from just like random places and like interview them about their business and stuff is just the worst.
And was it awful?
Yeah. And like the interviews are so bad.
Yep. I bet. Too bad they didn't pay you to be on your show.
It's true. If anyone wants to pay us, like we have a price for you to be a guest on this show.
We definitely do.
And like I'm not talking about the company. I'm talking like me and Zach.
Yes.
You can Venmo us.
Yes, absolutely. You'll be a Broncos expert for the day.
Exactly.
I don't know if you saw the full slate of Week 1 primetime games.
No.
Hit us with it.
So the first one, Thursday night, Lions at Chiefs.
Yep.
Monday night, Bills and Jets.
Okay.
Sunday night, Cowboys at Giants. That's the third one.
Disgusting.
Yeah. Wow. So the Eagles don't even get that Week 1 primetime. The
As
Eagles,
Super Bowl, attender.
Yep. They're going on the road as well. They're going into New England and playing the Patriots, and maybe what's been made the biggest deal nationally, which is crazy. The Patriots are welcoming back Tom Brady to honor him that game. And Tom Brady lost to the Eagles in the Super Bowl. So how about that? It's a Super Bowl rematch that Tom lost to, where the Patriots are bringing him back.
This is actually huge for Eagles fans. They'll love it because Tom can't, like, every night he goes to sleep thinking about Nick Foles.
Yep.
And he's definitely going to say something about it.
You think so?
And people are going to be so fired up.
So if is that the full primetime schedule for Week 1 you hear? And the reason I asked
that looks like that's the 3 so far.
So I wonder if that does mean that it's just Jets Bills on Monday Night Football, and that's it. There's no.
And then maybe they're doing the Week 2,
which they did last year, right?
Right, Week 2 doubleheader, which I'm in for.
Yeah. More football. I'm down for.
I would go Monday Night doubleheader every week if it was up to me.
That would be incredible. You know what? They're probably doing that because they're not putting Jets Bills at like the 5 p.m. slot, because that's not true prime time.
Nope.
And that is like a real prime time game.
Yep.
So maybe Week 2, Broncos could have something there.
It's true.
All right. This
things are getting weird.
TV, man. We've hit every area of the body, I think.
We have.
Okay, let's jump into some questions. Do we have any super chats you hear? No super chats. We do have some comments on the website. First, coming in from Jersey, Bronco says, boys, I have an inside source at MetLife, and they have been hearing that it is Giants versus Jets Week 1 Monday night on the anniversary of September 11th. Yeah, well, I'm sorry, Jersey Bronco. This one is one you should have got, too.
Dang, you were close.
Man, you were close.
You got. Maybe they texted him like it's an all New York matchup Monday night, and he was like, "Oh, Giants Jets."
Wow, you're right. It could have been that. So you're close. You're close, Jersey Bronco. He says, my wife also enjoyed hearing Zach say, "Let's go." I didn't say that. I did not say. I'm not even going to say it. No.
Oh, I want to see what it is.
Now I need to go
The third word was JETS. He says, congrats, Zach. You're no longer her least favorite. Okay, well, then I appreciate that. It is awesome that Zach is a believer in the Jets now that they have his favorite quarterback. I hate to say it, but I have more faith in the Jets this year than I have in Russ getting back into form. Love the pods as usual. Much love from Jersey. He commented after the news broke of what the actual first game is. My inside source sucks.
Also, that wouldn't be an all New York Bowl. That'd be an all Jersey Bowl. If it was Jets and Giants.
Yeah,
it's
that's
so stupid that their name is New York when they're in New Jersey.
Yeah, just like how stupid it'll be when the Denver Broncos play in Green Valley Ranch.
No, because you know what they'll do. They'll do just what they did with DIA. They'll
don't care.
redraw the Denver map to include it.
I don't care. It's fake.
They actually, they have to do that though, because you can't have the Denver Broncos playing in Green Valley Ranch, even as stupid as it is.
DNVR Broncos, dude. It sounds great.
Just go Colorado Broncos. Like that's
There's actually been some petitions put out by people in like eastern Colorado
to change it to
the Colorado Broncos because they're like, Denver doesn't represent my values.
Man,
never mind. Now I wanted to stay Denver Broncos.
Yeah, I want to stay Denver Broncos, but could you imagine if that's how the stamp the Walter Penner Group wanted to put on it? They won't do that. They wouldn't do that.
The Denver Broncos, there's something about it that has power when you say it.
I totally agree. Like
the D really brings it home.
Yeah,
Denver Broncos.
Just like heavy D when you say it, you know?
Yeah, just hit you right in the face. He did say something that I agree with, unfortunately, though. He says, I hate to say it, but I have more faith in the Jets this year than I have in Russ getting back to form. Not necessarily, I don't want to hold this against Russ. I think the Jets are better than the Broncos this year. And I think you disagree with that.
I don't know.
You think the Broncos will win that Jets game, though? Well, don't tell me. We'll get into it.
Game, so
we'll get into it later. Next one coming in from McCoolis says, I'm officially torn. Ted Lasso is my favorite show up until yesterday.
No spoilers.
Oh, he does say, if you haven't seen it, spoiler
alert. Nope.
I'll tell you why. I can tell you why, but I don't know, because Kaylin told me this little tidbit.
I heard there was a shot at the Broncos.
Yeah, that's the one thing I only know, because no spoilers from either. I haven't watched it.
Yeah,
but
the
that's
Simpsons
the one thing
also
I heard.
took a shot at the Broncos. It happens.
That's true. Okay, so no spoilers. He does say, great show, guys. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
So that's not a spoiler.
We can be your favorite show ahead of Ted Lasso.
It's true because, we don't say bad things about the Broncos.
Yeah, I appreciate. So I didn't even watch the clip. I hate spoilers. I'm the type of person, if you spoil a show for me, I won't watch it.
Wow.
Like it's just it's dead to me now.
Wow. So then is that person who ruins it dead to you as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. As they should be.
And but I did see, like, I picked up a little bit of context. I think that I appreciate the fact that Ted Lasso was historically accurate in saying that a person from Wichita was a Broncos fan.
Wait, what?
Never mind.
Yeah, I'm so confused. Should I know that?
No, I was just saying, like, usually people from Kansas.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yep. It's very true.
Yeah.
Next one from the count says, this one's for you hear. Why does Yaya refuse to use a microphone? Love the count. Has that thing not been on?
No, I've been mic'd for the last week.
Huh. I don't know.
People need, the thing is,
unbelievable thing from our producers.
Oh, no. I've been mic'd and now Alex is complaining about a buzzing noise that I can't control because it's just.
So then you haven't been using the mic to avoid the buzzing noise.
No, like the thing, I use the mic, then there's buzz, and then people are like, why does it buzz? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I can't control everything. I can only do one thing at a time. I get yelled at constantly.
You know
at
what?
company.
We don't want you producing tonight's show.
Wow.
We don't want you producing tonight's show.
You shouldn't want me producing any of your shows, honestly.
You're off tonight. Don't even show up tonight.
I want him.
Well,
RK just likes getting under my skin and seeing me like struggle. He thinks it's funny.
That's like my love language, is talking shit to people.
Yeah. I'm happy that Yahir can deal with it until he's not on our show tonight.
Yep.
I'm just gonna be commenting and be like, you guys suck so much.
Arvada Luke rounds us out, says, the Ted Lasso Broncos reference was great.
No spoilers.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go there. He says RK's concern for the sports viewers behind him. Tall guy mentality, 6 foot confirmed. Saying that.
So he's saying the fact that I was thinking like, oh, if I stand, that screws over these people behind me.
You're tall?
Is tall guy mentality,
Yeah.
understanding 6 feet confirmed.
And you like that. You like having the tall guy mentality placed on you.
I mean, I would never claim tall.
Average.
6 feet.
Just above average.
But yeah, I guess that is above average, which would make me on the tall side of the
So you wouldn't consider that a fun fact about yourself? 6 foot
Definitely
tall?
not. Can you imagine seeing a question, what's a fun fact about you, and thinking your height?
Oh my gosh. That's honestly unless you've never met these people and you're 7'4".
Well, that's what I was going to say.
That's a fun fact.
If you're like a radio personality, no one ever sees you, and you're like, fun fact thing people don't know about me is I actually played in the Adriatic Basketball League.
Right.
I'm 7'9",
Right, yeah,
376
And
pounds.
see, even there, you added context about how you used your height and your size to your advantage.
Also, using your height as a fun fact just gives short person energy so much.
Well, it's so weird because
Wow.
his isn't that the average height?
Yeah. I think so.
5'9"?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's even in terms of fun facts about your height, it's the least fun fact height possible.
It's just so boring. And people also watch us and for the most part know what we look like. They see me sitting next to Hank. They both know we're extremely just average dudes. Like there's gonna be nothing fun about that fact at all.
So weird.
When Hank's,
it
when
would have
Hank's
been
away.
funner if Hank was just like, I'm extremely average. That's my fun fact.
H-Town Broncos said, RK, how are you feeling about Ted Lasso these days? So I am only 3 episodes into this season. I wanted to space it out to a point where it would end. The season would be over before I got to the last episode. Because they're doing the weekly rollout.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, I'm going to...
So you don't want to be waiting on them.
Yeah, exactly. I want to go on my own time, especially because when I watch TV shows is very sporadic. And so it's like, I need to be able to knock out 3 episodes in a night if I'm ever going to finish this season.
Not tonight.
Not tonight for sure.
Nope.
It's only been 1 night so far, so I'm 3 episodes in.
There you go.
Here's the thing about me. I am the least harsh critic of television shows once I like them.
Okay.
So once I
okay.
like it, it can do no wrong.
And so now.
And it's like I've seen a lot of people complaining like, "Oh, this season's lame, blah blah." I'll never think that.
Yeah, once it gets in your heart, it's
Yes,
there. Yeah,
exactly.
I kind of agree with you.
Yep.
And that's why. So the Broncos reference isn't gonna hurt.
No,
So why don't I just spoil it? Then you just won't watch
because
it.
I'll never see it.
We won't do that to you,
Honestly,
Ryan.
you guys are all saying, I love Yaya. We want more Yaya. I have a show that I'm on weekly, bi-weekly.
There you go. Yeah, watch the
Yeah.
Rapid show if you
Like
want more. Yeah,
Today,
yeah.
right? 3 p.m.
Yeah, 3
Breaking
p.m.
down the massive scandal that's not just happening with the Rapids, but around the world.
Crazy
300
scandal.
players
Yeah.
right now so far.
I love scandals.
I hate this one because it's one of my favorite players.
Oh,
the dude,
no.
literally, his nickname is Mac Sauce.
Mac Sauce?
Yeah, because he's saucy, dude. Like, he has it in the
Is he
bag.
starting for the Pids?
Yes. He cost them. He was one of the most expensive transfers that Rapids have had.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Like, it's not
for it
just
to be a
a
good
whatever
player,
player,
too.
Like, he was
Yeah,
like,
H-Town said we need to put a face to Yaya's voice. 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock. There you go.
That's what I'm
Exactly.
telling them.
You won't be able to put a face to it on our show tonight because it's not going to be our producer.
I don't know if you're being serious or not either.
You'll have to find out.
hey,
6 p.m.
you're all in for a surprise tonight.
I'm actually excited for the Rapid show today. Like,
Yeah.
I want to hear. I love some scandal. I love when something hits my timeline, and then I have to search around to figure out what's going on. That's
Right.
what I was doing last night with
Yep.
with 2 different things. Once in a while, something political reaches my timeline, which I go to great lengths to
Really
avoid.
happens. Yeah.
And it happened last night, and I was like, "What?" It took me like an hour and a half to figure out what was going on.
Wow. I can't wait to find out what it was.
Yeah.
And then this was the other thing.
And I was like on there searching around. I'm like, I just searched Max, couldn't find
Yeah.
anything.
No, not surprised.
The thing that you could find were all in Portuguese because this happened in Brazil too. So
Well,
it's
no,
like really
but the thing
hard.
is, like, everyone was just calling him Max as if he's
Right,
like
yes.
Nene.
Yeah. Right. Does he have a last name?
But he is Brazilian, so it makes sense that he went
Oh,
like Nene.
yeah,
that
the
makes
one-
sense. Yeah.
he's Max Alves.
Alves, yeah.
Oh, that makes I was like, this is crazy because I would feel like if you're just going by a first name, got to be very well
yeah,
known. Like,
yeah, like
It's like
Messi.
Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's Ronaldo. Brazilians usually only go by one name, Neymar.
Yeah.
Ronaldo,
I like that.
the
That's
Cafu.
cool.
It's
like-
sick for sure.
that would be tough for Maxes just to go by Max, though. Here,
Right.
there's a lot of
Yeah,
Maxes.
there's so many
Yeah,
Maxes.
yeah. There's the final part of that comment from Avada Luke says, as for the Russ booze, we expect him to have a short memory when he makes a mistake. I don't know how spicy of a take this is, but maybe us fans should do that as well, especially into a fresh season where anything can happen. Cheerio, AL.
I agree. Short memory. Move on. Let's give Russ a chance. I don't want him to be starting the season on like a bad curve. Like if through the first 3 weeks he's like, I don't know, 4 touchdowns to 1 interception or 5 or 6 touchdowns to 2 interceptions, then like I don't want to be grading against last year of like, okay, well now this, that, like
Right,
that's just a
right,
good
right.
start to the season.
Right.
Like, let's give him a clean slate.
It's also just like we talked about, they're locked in for maybe they can get out of it with doing crazy maneuvers in 2 years. But essentially, they're locked in for 3, 4, 5, 6 more years with Russell Wilson. So if those boos were to help him, demand a trade or something like that, or somehow get out of town, and it gets to a point where it's that bad, okay, I understand it then. But man, you're locked in. You're not going anywhere. Do you want to make? I just think of it. You're stuck on a cruise ship for another week with someone. Do you want to make it miserable the next 7 days, or do you want to try to have it be as good as it can?
Yeah, just fake it.
Yeah,
honestly.
exactly. And then once that contract's done, once the ship mounts, you never have to see him again if you don't want to.
For sure.
If things do go poorly.
It's not, like even Keenum and Flacco, like it was clear the way out. So I was like, just hate him as much as you want.
Yep, exactly.
There's no clear way out right now. Also, you know who else did this?
Who?
Coyotes fans to Kyler Murray.
Oh.
He went to a Coyotes game and got
this
booed,
offseason,
too.
right?
Yeah.
That's tough, man.
Yeah.
That sucks, man.
And-
Being compared to any Phoenix team sucks.
Damn,
That's the worst part of that.
That's true. That's a good point.
Let's get this dub tonight.
Yeah. Then there'll be no comparing the Nuggets and Suns after tonight.
Nope.
4-2.
And RK said it yesterday, because the Suns lost, Denver's boycotting the Sun until Friday.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so true. Hopefully the forecast isn't an omen that it's going 7, because there's no sun in the forecast until like next Tuesday.
No, we're good. We're just burying them. And
Okay,
then
okay.
it's like a kind of like a funeral for the
Oh,
Sun.
fair. Yeah, because there's going to be a lot of time off before the Western Conference final.
Yep. Last 2 games I was really anxious. Feel great tonight.
Good. I mean, they're playing with house money tonight, which is a
I don't
great
feel
thing to
that way.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Game 7, you just never want to be in Game 7.
Even what you said about Phoenix last year, and the Nuggets haven't lost at home this year.
Yes. Game 7s are weird.
But it's still house
Look at the
money,
Avs
though.
cracking Game 7.
Yeah,
The Avs
that
were
was-
smoking their asses, and then a weird puck bounces in off a guy's glove, and now you've got a problem.
Yeah, it's true. Man, I think there's house money. Because they're going to win at home.
You're like the reporter who asked Jokic, like, you guys didn't need to win this game. What pushed you? And Jokic was like, what? No, this is the playoffs, bro. We need to win every game.
I don't, well, maybe I would ask a question like that. You can ask Kareem Jackson.
Still a good question. Got a good answer.
Who do you want? Warriors or Lakers?
I hate this question.
Because now it's more of a series than it was yesterday.
I almost feel like I have to stick with my thoughts that I literally said the day that Kevin Durant got traded to the Suns. Henry
Okay.
was sitting here. We were all together at the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And Henry was like having like a meltdown.
Yep.
And I was
At
like,
10 p.m. that Thursday.
I was like, there's only one team in the West that scares me, and it's
Yeah.
the Warriors.
Yep.
So despite the fact that like watching them in this series is just, they look bad. And the Lakers kind of have like a gritty thing going for them. I have to stick with my guns. I'll take the Lakers.
I agree with you, especially because if it is the Warriors, they just came back from 3-1 against a good Lakers team, and then they'll be hot,
But
and that's scary.
The AD thing looked bad last night.
That's true. What is it? Concussion?
It's got to be concussion.
At first, I thought he just got poked in the eye, and
So
then I
did
kept
I.
looking at the replays, and I was like,
The way he was holding
eye.
his head was like, oh, that's bad. And then he was like apparently wobbling, walking down the tunnel.
Jeez. Oh man,
I
so
mean-
it really could set up for a comeback.
And what's weird about those sports, I don't know why. It's probably just the right thing to do. In football, concussion can be a weak injury, which
Yeah.
is like definitely bad.
Yeah.
In like hockey, basketball, baseball, concussions sometimes are like months on end.
It's the opposite.
Yeah.
You would think it'd be the opposite.
I
like
know.
the lesser contact sports, you can come back quicker. I mean, I
was
like
it?
that they're safe with that.
I think it was Justin Morneau missed a whole year with a concussion.
Wow.
Sidney Crosby, I believe, missed a whole year with a concussion.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, good for those sports.
I mean, Boyd
That's-
Byram kind of missed a lot,
Yeah.
more than half a year.
That's something the
I've never
NFL
heard of a
definitely
player in the
needs to
NFL
change.
missing more than a couple weeks.
No, yeah, no. Even Tua.
And that's so bad.
I mean, he contemplated retirement. Everyone saw how bad it was, and he was back.
a couple weeks later.
Yeah, a couple weeks later. And that's
Yeah.
as bad as it gets.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So if AD doesn't play, the Warriors are winning the series.
I agree. I mean, when they've won, AD's been great.
Yep.
When AD hasn't been great, they've lost
Yep.
2 games.
So anyways, let's just get past this tonight. Playing the Lakers will be a absolute nightmare. Nothing to do with their ability.
Wait, the Warriors.
No,
The Lakers. Oh, yeah. It would be. Yep, 100%.
It's like one of those ones where I almost
You're
don't
so
even want
right.
to watch because of the refs.
Yep. And the fans.
Oh yeah,
In quotes.
yeah.
You know, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of them that come out this time of year.
Oh yeah.
Jared with a final question says, RK, you going to the Nuggets game tonight?
All the way in Phoenix.
Yeah, you hopping on a plane?
I would love
Is
to
the
get
PJ
out of this.
outside?
Get out of this weather and go to Phoenix.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yep. If the Nuggets won Game 3, I was highly considering going there for Game 4.
Oh, for a sweep? Oh, that would have been so cool. Not even 90-minute flight.
I know.
70-minute flight.
It's a nice.
You can probably
it's a nice
find some of round trip for $90.
Well, and the big thing was you knew the tickets were going to plummet in value.
That's true. That's so true.
Yep.
Damn, that would have been fun.
It would have been really fun. All right, let's get this dub tonight.
Let's go, baby.
We'll also see you before then.
Yes, we will. That is true. Tune in at 6 p.m. with us.
See you guys.